Let's imagine for a few moments what our life would be like if we could access, let's say, 20% of our brain's capacity. This first stage would give us access to and control of our own body.
Sir?
Yes.
Has it been proved scientifically?
Well, for the moment, it's just hypothesis, I confess. But if you think about it, it's troubling to realize that the Greeks, the Egyptians, and the Indians had notion of cells centuries before the invention of the microscope. And what to say about Darwin, whom everybody took for a fool when he put forth his theory of evolution? It's up to us to push the rules and laws and go from evolution to revolution. 100 billion neurons per human, of which only 15% are activated. There are more connections in the human body than there are stars in the galaxy. We possess a gigantic network of information to which we have almost no access.
Sir?
Yes.
And what would be the next stage?
Well, the next stage would probably be control of other people. But for that, we would need to access at least 40% of our brain's capacity. After control of ourselves and others would come control of matter. But now we're entering into the realm of science fiction, and we don't know any more than a dog who watches the moon.
Excuse me, sir?
Yes.
But what would happen if, for some reason, we ignore somebody unlocked 100% of the cerebral capacity?
100%?
Yes?
I have no idea.
In the 2014 film Lucy, Scarlett Johansson is a woman kidnapped in Taiwan who, through the use of drugs, is able to use her brain at full capacity. The entire plot of the movie plays on the old myth that humans only use 10% of their brain. When Lucy is at 100% brain capacity, she's able to flip cars, shapeshift, and even teleport. However, as neuroscience tells us, this just isn't realistic. Our brain is always working at 100% capacity. Modern brain scans show activity coursing through the entire organ even when we're resting. Our brain is the most vital organ in our body and controls our entire being, from breathing to walking to other internal mechanisms that we don't even notice. If we're only to be functioning at 10% capacity, we'd most likely be dead. Dr. Scott Linefield explains, despite the detailed mapping, no quiet areas awaiting new assignments have emerged. In fact, even simple tasks generally require contributions of processing areas spread throughout virtually the whole brain. Ultimately, the 10% myth dates back to the 1930s and has been used over and over again as a cheap trick to sell films around false pseudoscience.
Toronto, just get out of radiation stinks now, or Dynaco is history. You hear me?
Just give me a second here, Harv.
No. Hey, where are you going? Get in the trailer, baby. Want a bigger trailer?
Sally, I want you to... Look, I wish...
Thank you. Thanks for everything.
It's just a road.
No. It was much more than that.
Cars aren't classified as organisms. While a standard American automobile uses energy via the combustion of fossil fuels, cars do not reproduce. I've never seen a car engage in any reproductive activities. Furthermore, cars aren't even composed of cells. In fact, they're made of various alloys and metals that enable them to withstand turbulent outdoor conditions. In addition, cars don't grow. Sure, the movie Cars has baby cars, but I tell you, those cars will be the same size forever. The only way you can make a car bigger is by bringing it to your local mechanic/auto parts store. To expand on this, cars don't adapt to their environment. Sure, you can take your automobile to the local O'Reilly, but your new rims ain't gonna do anything against the sleet and snow. Ultimately, cars aren't organisms, and any notion that they are proved to be both outrageous and riddled with fallacy.
Tower, you worry about those spiders, I'll worry about the tower. R2, that stabilizer's broken loose again. See if you can't lock it down. Fire! Coming in, point 3. anymore. Good back there?
Sorry.
Let him go. Stay on the lead.
And the Star Wars saga, which premiered in 1977, takes place a long time ago in a galaxy far away, but appears to be based in the future due to the advanced technology. Throughout the movies, characters fly aircrafts, use lasers, and have robot companions. In human history, this technology was not used in the past. The lightsabers that some of the characters used are not possible. The beam of light comes out of the lightsaber about 3 feet and stops without anything from restricting the beam. If someone tried to recreate a lightsaber using the same model, they would fail. This is because the beam of light would continue indefinitely. The lasers that the ships in space shoot make a high-pitched noise. In real life, the lasers would not make any noise because noise doesn't travel in a vacuum, also known as space.
John, cars don't fly. Cars don't fly. No brakes! What? No brakes! Shit! Got it!
In this scene from Fast and Furious 7, we witness a Lycan Hypersport, a 3,000-pound vehicle, jump from one building to the next, through the entire floor of the second building, and into the third building, where it later falls out and crashes to the ground. Now, this scene contains several scientific fallacies. The first is obvious. A 3,000-pound vehicle cannot simply jump from one building into the next. The Lycan Hypersport is a 3,000-pound vehicle, and according to Newton's law of universal gravitation, once the car were to exit the first building, it would simply dive straight down and crash to the bottom before even touching the second building. Now, what the producers tried to do in this scene is propel the vehicle through a grenade launched by a grenade launcher. Now, while this is somewhat of a scientific truth that the grenade would somewhat propel the vehicle, it is also a scientific fallacy because the grenade would also explode and destroy the vehicle. Now, another scientific fallacy contained at the end of this scene is when the Lycan Hypersport falls out of the third building to the ground and doesn't explode. Now, a car's engine is full of fire and combustible oils. Once the car were to fall, the engine would explode and the car would be done for. In this scene, we do not witness that. We witness a car falling directly down, like Newton's law of universal gravitation says, but it does not explode.